You know, there's this idea floating around that if something's not expensive, it's probably not effective. And I get it. We're used to thinking that better sleep must mean better tech, and better tech must mean a bigger price tag. But the more I've explored sleep tools, especially earbuds, the more I've realized that the most expensive option isn't always the one that actually helps you sleep better. Sometimes it's the simple, affordable, under $100 solution that ends up being the most life-changing, not because it does everything, but because it does what you actually need. I remember the first time I tried a pair of budget sleep earbuds. I was skeptical. I didn't expect much. The packaging was basic, the design wasn't flashy, and there weren't any high-end features. But I was tired in that deep, bone-level way where you stop caring about specs and just want something to help you rest. So I gave them a shot. And that night, I slept. Not perfectly, but deeply. The kind of sleep where you wake up feeling like you were actually gone for a while. Like your brain had finally turned off and your body got what it needed. And it wasn't the earbuds themselves that created that magic. It was the space they helped me create. See, that's the thing about these more affordable options. They might not give you 15 kinds of data or a companion app with AI sleep coaching, but what they do give you is simplicity, a calming sound, a little barrier between you and the outside world, a signal that says, it's time to rest now. And that, for me, was everything. Because I didn't need complexity, I needed calm. I needed something that helped me shift from noise to stillness, from overthinking to letting go. And these little budget earbuds did exactly that. Over the next few weeks, I started using them regularly. Not every night, just on the ones where I felt that edge creeping in, that tension in my shoulders, that buzz in my chest that told me my body was tired but my mind wasn't done yet. And every time, the pattern was the same. I'd put them in, play a soft ambient track, lie down with no expectations, and slowly the world would fade. Not all at once, not dramatically, but enough to let sleep find me. What surprised me most wasn't just that these budget earbuds worked, it was how much they changed my relationship with bedtime. I stopped thinking of sleep as something random or something I had to hope for. I started treating it like something I could step into with intention. I'd finish my day, brush my teeth, dim the lights, and slip in those tiny earbuds like I was giving myself permission to stop, to disconnect, to soften. And even though there wasn't any fancy AI or biometric feedback, something inside me began to shift. I started looking forward to sleep, not just because I was tired, but because I finally had a way to ease into it that felt doable, honest, and human. And maybe that's the beauty of low-cost tools. They take the pressure off. When something costs a lot, there's this unspoken pressure for it to be perfect. You expect it to fix everything. You obsess over whether you're using it right. But with these earbuds, I didn't feel any of that. I wasn't trying to optimize. I wasn't trying to get a perfect score. I was just resting. And in that space of low expectations, I found something unexpectedly rich. I started tuning into my body, not through metrics, but through moments. I'd notice how my breath changed, how my jaw relaxed, how my thoughts slowed down, not because I forced them to, but because there was finally room for silence. There's a kind of wisdom that lives in simplicity, and I think these budget sleep earbuds tapped into that in a way that no app or gadget ever had for me. They reminded me that healing doesn't always have to be high-tech, that restoration isn't something you buy, it's something you allow. These earbuds didn't give me control. They gave me space. And honestly, that space was more valuable than any feature I've ever seen in a premium product. I also began to notice that my mornings were different. Not because I woke up with a dashboard of stats, but because I woke up lighter, gentler. Like I hadn't spent the night clenching my thoughts. And when you're not carrying that kind of tension into the day, everything else flows a little easier. Conversations feel softer. Food tastes better. You laugh more. You breathe more. And all of that, it started with a pair of earbuds that cost less than dinner for two. So here's the truth I wish someone had told me earlier. Taking care of your sleep doesn't have to be expensive. You don't need a premium subscription, a high-end gadget, or a sleep pod that looks like it came from outer space. Sometimes all you need is one small, quiet tool that helps you create just enough distance between you and the noise. Something simple, something affordable, something that says you matter enough to rest. That's what these under $100 sleep earbuds did for me. They didn't promise transformation, but they opened the door to it. They gave me something to lean on, not in a flashy high-tech way, but in a real, gentle, grounded way. They helped me find rhythm. They helped me notice my patterns. They helped me sleep without pressure. And maybe most importantly, they reminded me that healing doesn't have to come with a high price tag. Sometimes it just comes with intention. I know what it's like to scroll through reviews, watch high production videos, and feel like rest is just out of reach unless you buy the best. But the truth is, the best is what works for you. The best is what helps you feel safe. The best is what helps you stop. And if that happens to be a pair of earbuds that cost less than $100, then that's not just okay. It's beautiful. Because what you're really buying isn't the device. You're buying a doorway into stillness, into breath, into presence. And that is priceless. So if this video gave you something to think about, something to feel, something to try, maybe consider joining me here. On the Daily Health Shift, we talk about tools like these not because they're cheap or trendy, but because they help us return to something we've forgotten, that our rest matters, that our nervous system deserves attention, that the quiet moments are the most powerful ones. So if that resonates with you, hit subscribe to the Daily Health Shift. Share this with someone who's been putting off rest, waiting for the right time or the right product to begin. And tonight, no matter what you use, give yourself the gift of enough. Enough quiet, enough care, enough softness to remind your body, you're safe now, you can rest. This is the Daily Health Shift. Sleep gently, spend wisely, and I'll see you in the next one.